Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please like, comment, subscribe down below. If you're a subscriber, thank you guys for joining along on this journey with me and Anaya. This is a continuous journey and we are welcoming you to come along with us. Today's video is not going to be a cash stuffing video or a budget with me video. Today's video is going to be about me dealing with fibroids and endometriosis within my health phase. Just a disclaimer, I am not a camera person. I do not like being in the limelight. Even though I'm a Leo, I do not like it. So this is gonna be a little struggle for me, but we're gonna get through it. So if I'm not constantly looking at the camera, I'm sorry. The camera is in front of my window, so I'm constantly kind of looking out my window, but I'm gonna stay focused for you guys as much as I can. So if you don't know about fibroids are non-cancerous growths that happens in your uterus it usually starts during your childbirthing stage. So once you start having a child, it starts to grow, I guess, and it does grow, but it usually goes back to being normal. So sometimes in certain women, it grows until it's huge and it doesn't go away, or it grows and then it goes back to being normal after your menstrual period happens. For me, my fibroids, ever since I've started having menstrual periods, it was fine. It will grow, come back, grow, come back. It's back and forth thing. Once I got pregnant with my daughter, it was the same thing. But then there are times where I've always had abnormal periods. So for me, it was a normal thing to have 2 periods in a 1 month or skip a month. It was always weird. So I didn't start noticing a big difference until after I had my daughter. And it was like a couple of years after I had my daughter, my periods started getting ridiculous, because ever since I've started having periods, my cycles was always 7 days, normal periods, cramps, nausea, all the works. So for me, that was normal. But after having my daughter, once I got to the stage of having periods again, my periods were wonderful. I didn't really feel pain. I didn't get nauseated. It was good for a couple of years, and then it started getting worse to where the pain was excruciating to the point where for the last, I want to say 5 years, anytime my period would come, the first 2 days I would not want to do anything. I would pray that my period came on a day off instead of me having to go to work, because it's a struggle for me to go to work with that pain. So when my period would come on, it usually came on when I'm off, which was great up until 2 years ago. So 2 years ago started to be where my period would come on, and days before my period would come on, I would know it was coming because I would start getting cramps 2-3 days before my period actually came on, which the cramps wasn't too bad, but it gave me a sign that, okay, your period's about to come on, so now you have to figure out what you're gonna do. Up until last year, it started getting super bad to the point where I had to sign up. Well, I had to get FMLA at my job because I needed to be able to call out on the first day of my period, because it was super bad. I didn't want to get out of bed. I wanted to stay in bed all day. I did not eat. And normally, since I've started having periods, I never really eat on the first 2 days of my period because I was always nauseated and always in pain. So if I ate something, it would be soup or crackers, something super light. I mainly drank all day instead of eating. And since I didn't eat, I didn't have energy to do anything, which I'm now realizing, I just found out that I'm anemic. I didn't know I was anemic because I've been this way my whole life and I've never been told that I was anemic. So my whole life, I've always felt tired, or my energy level will go up and down. I'm super cold all the time. And that was normal to me. I've never been told, as many times I've been to the doctors over the years, never been told that I was anemic. So now figuring it out now, I'm anemic. So of course, with me not eating on the first day of my periods, it would make it worse, which I understand, you know, eating would help me feel better, but at the times I cannot eat anything because it would just come back up. So I wouldn't eat anything. And so last year, again, I did FMLA so that I will be able to call out, because one incident, I got my period on a day that I had to work, and I work super early in the morning. I get up at 4 a.m. to go to work. So the night before, I knew my period was coming. Like, I knew I was already having the spotting, so I knew it was coming on. But I was praying that I was good enough to go to work, because the month prior, I was able to go to work, which was good. I was able to take medicine and be good for the whole day. Then by the time I got home, it was horrible, but at least I made it through work. So that day, I thought maybe I can make it to work. And usually, if you have to call out of work, you have to call out at least a minimum 2 hours before your shift. So it's 4 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I started at 6. I can't call out now because it's already past that time. So I have to force myself to go to work. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I, you know, take a shower, I'll feel fine. That didn't work. I started throwing up. The pain was excruciating to the point where I was in tears. So I had to call out of work. Anyway, so called out of work, and that was the worst thing for me ever, because I never call out of work. I never used to like calling out of work. I always go to work. I like working overtime. I don't like calling out of work. So, and especially my job is not hard at all for me. So me calling out is nothing. So I ended up calling out, and I felt so bad, but called out, ended up being in bed the rest of the day. I didn't get up at all for nothing. I barely wanted to get up to use the bathroom. Like, it was to the point I just stayed in bed. I wanted to sleep through the whole pain. I couldn't take any medicine after that, because once I start feeling the pain and me trying to swallow pills, it made it worse. So just stayed in bed all day. But so sorry for the whole spiel, but that's what I've been dealing with. I know some people, usually when I have my period, some people's like, you know, periods are not that bad. Why are you so much in pain? My thing is, I have fibroids, which make you bleed a lot excessively, and then endometriosis is where my pain is coming from. The endometriosis, so the definition of endometriosis, it's a disorder in which tissue that normally lines the uterus grows on the outside of the uterus. So it's very, very painful. And it's not like I only get the pain the first day, because normally when you get your period, you get the cramps the first day. With the endometriosis, it goes forever, because even after my period is gone, I still feel the pain from the endometriosis. So years prior, me having these pains, it'll go back and forth. So I never felt the need to actually have to get surgery, or I felt the need that I needed to get medical attention for it, because it would go back and forth. Last year, once I got the FMLA, I got it because the pain was excruciating all the time. It never stops. Even with my period being gone, it's still there. It still bothers me. So I ended up going to my doctor a lot more than normal, because I'm trying to, you know, speak to her and tell her, you know, I'm in pain all the time. Is there anything you can do? Like, is there anything that I can do? What is it that I can change? Because this pain has to go away, because it's excruciating to me. And so going back a few years back, I had the same pain that I'm having now at a younger age, and this was before I had my daughter, to the point where my mom had to take me to the emergency room because I was in so much pain. They had to give me some type of, I don't remember what kind of medicine they gave me. They gave me a shot for something, and it kind of stopped the pain. But after that, when I would go see my doctor, she would tell me, we're gonna try different prescriptions because I don't want you to do surgery because you're still young. You haven't had a child yet, you're still young. That's what I was kept being told, I'm too young to have the surgery, I'm too young. So fast forward, after having my daughter, like 3 years, 4 years later, same thing. And now my doctor's like, okay, well, now we have to figure out something, because if you want to have another child, we have to get this fixed before you can have another child. Because with fibroids and endometriosis, it's not saying that you can't have children, but you will have a high risk pregnancy, and that's something that I do not want. I've only been pregnant once, and I had a great pregnancy, had a great delivery, so I don't want to go through the pain of trying to get pregnant and having issues with the pregnancy, having issues with delivery. I would rather get this issue fixed first, and then if at some point God decides I need to have another child, I will have another child. But as of right now, I just want to deal with this. So finally my doctor last year, after I keep telling her the pain, she's more worried about the bleeding, that I'm bleeding excessively. And I understand that, because of course now I'm anemic, so the bleeding is very bad for me. But my thing was, the pain was very excruciating. It's very hard to work in the environment that I work in and be in pain all day. That can't happen. So and no type of medication worked for me. So even if I took Tylenol, Advil, nothing worked. It would still be pain. It just subside the pain a little bit, and then by the time I go home from work, I'll be in pain again. So she finally told me that I could have the surgery, that I'm of age to have the surgery. If I want to have the surgery, it would be better for me to have the laparoscopic myomectomy surgery or robotic surgery, because then that'll give me the chance to still have more kids, a better chance to have more kids. And at the time, I just wanted to get them out. Whatever it is you need to do, I just want them out. But I wasn't prepared for actual full surgery. But so she scheduled me with a surgeon in his clinic to see about my options for surgery. So after going to a few appointments with this doctor, the surgeon, he advised that maybe I should do a robotic myomectomy, that I wouldn't have an incision. I could go back to work after a few weeks, and it'll be easier to take the fibroids out that way, and possibly it's a greater chance to have more kids. So I agreed to doing the myomectomy. My problem with the whole stage was, for someone who never had surgery, never had, had to have medical reasons why you gotta go from work to home, or why you have to call out from home. This whole stage was very brand new to me. So a lot of things I did not know I had to do or needed, or what was expected of me. So it was very hard to deal with this on my own, to do everything. So but of course, I'm an adult, I have to handle it by myself. I'm a mom, I have to get it done, which is what pushed me to do everything that I did. So got the surgery scheduled. With it being during COVID time, I had to get a COVID testing, which was fine. I've been tested multiple times with my job, so it was fine to do the testing for the surgery. Did the COVID test. Everything was good. A day before my surgery, I got a call. No, actually, yes. So day before my surgery, got a call, had to reschedule. Of course, was very upset because because of me having FMLA, I've already scheduled with my job, hey, I have to be out for 2-3 weeks. I have to have surgery on this day. I have to be out by this day, and I won't return to this day. So now on top of me rescheduling, I had to reschedule all of that. With what I do, I have to have access to do what I have to do. So by me telling them, okay, I'm going to be off from work from this day to this day, my access was, on hold until I come back. by me rescheduling, I have to reschedule that hold. So everything got worked out, rescheduled. Rescheduled for a few weeks again. Another time, reschedule. So by me being upset because I've already rescheduled once, so now I have to reschedule again. So I'm super, super upset because I feel like they're not understanding, the hospital or the clinic is not understanding that it's not just me rescheduling with them because I'm an at-home mom, or I have nothing else to do. No, I have a job where I have to keep calling them and saying, hey, sorry, my surgery is rescheduled, can you reschedule my timeout? Very frustrating, to the point where I was super upset. My mom works not in the medical field, but she works with doctors and nurses for emergency hospitals around in different states. So she has easier access to contact doctors or clinics. So she saw how upset I was. She contacted the doctor, spoke to the doctor, and the doctor gave her a reason why my appointment or my surgery was rescheduled. He said it had something to do with the hospital, not him. The hospital said it was him, not them. So it was a back and forth thing. So at that point, I didn't want to do the surgery anymore because it was too frustrating on me. I was still going through pain and having to deal with different things at work. It was very frustrating. So I wanted to not do it anymore. But I figured I'm already here. I'm already at this step. Let me just get this done and over with so that way I can stop feeling the pain, because that was my main issue, is the pain. So finally got it rescheduled. Super excited because I'm like, okay, now I can get the surgery done. Awesome. So I was scheduled for a robotic myomectomy. They advise you you can't eat anything or drink anything a couple of hours before your surgery. My surgery was scheduled at 5 a.m. So I couldn't eat anything, but they have you drink Gatorade the night before you go to sleep, and the morning of, before you have surgery. And then they give you like this type of soap that you have to clean your body with. So I had to do it the night before and then the morning of. It's perfectly fine. And I didn't take an overnight bag because from what I was told, you go home the same day. I don't spend the night at the hospital, which was fine with me because I don't like hospitals. I've never been hospitalized. So for me, that was fine. I go home the same day. So got there. As soon as I got there, it was in and out. It was super quick, which I was happy for because I did not want to go there and then they cancel me again or schedule me again, which I was going to be very upset because the first time it happened, that's what happened. I got there and they canceled me. So this time everything was smooth. I got all my paperwork done, got in, changed into the gown. They gave me medicine. I don't remember anything after the doctor came to talk to me. So before I went in for surgery, my surgeon came with his team of other surgeons and other doctors that was gonna work on me for that morning. They all came and spoke to me. The anesthesiologist came and spoke to me, and he checked me a little bit, and then he was like, okay, you're ready for surgery. We'll see you afterwards. I was getting pushed from the check-in area to, I guess, where the surgery room is. I don't remember any of that. Once I got all the medicine and everything that they gave me, I was already sleeping. So I don't even remember them putting any anesthesia in me because I was already knocked out. I don't remember anything until I woke up in my recovery room. So by the time I woke up in recovery, I just felt excruciating pain. So I did not have a robotic myomectomy because before the surgery, he has to make a small incision and they stick a camera inside to check it and make sure everything is good before they do the surgery. So apparently before, when I did an ultrasound, it did not look like it was that many fibroids. So they said I can do the robotic myomectomy. But once he put the camera inside, they found out that I had so many fibroids and they were all huge that it was not a good fit for me to have the robotic myomectomy, that I would just have to have an abdominal myomectomy, which I did not know about. But I guess he was already there, so as long as they take him out. So took the fibroids out. I had 12 large fibroids inside of my uterus. So did the surgery, got out, I'm in recovery, I'm in so much pain. And the pain really wasn't from the actual surgery, it's more so I had gas everywhere, because once they do the surgery, they have to blow your stomach up and then it slowly goes out. So I had gas in my shoulder, in my back, in my stomach, in my chest, everywhere. So I was in pain everywhere. So all day I couldn't even really speak because I had so much pain in my chest. But I know I took a lot of prescriptions because I was in a lot of pain, and I had a catheter inside, so I wasn't able to go to the bathroom by myself. So which was good at the time because I had to spend the night there and it was hard for me to even move. So for me to get up to go to the bathroom would have been super bad for me. So it was easier for me to have the catheter, use the bathroom, I'll be fine. I was there the whole night. I could not sleep throughout the night because I was in so much pain. No matter which way I moved, I was in a lot of pain. And because it's during COVID time, no one can be in the room with you. So a lot of times my mom is like one of those moms that's like, she has to be there. Even if you're grown, she has to be there. She has to make sure everything is going well. So my mom called all day, all night. Even if when she called, if I was in pain, she's like, oh, did the nurse come see you? I'm like, yeah, but I don't remember. She's like, I'm gonna call them. She calls them, they come see me. So it was a lot of back and forth. So I was there the whole night. I was there during the morning. Doctors came to check on me. They checked my incisions. The nurse had to come help me change, take a, what do you call those? Like a bed bath. Yeah, like a bed bath, and help me brush my teeth, everything. It was bad. But the pain started going less and less, but it was still a lot of pain because it was hard for me to use the bathroom. So after a while, I had to make sure, in order for me to go home, I had to use the bathroom on my own. So they took the catheter out and they were like, okay, whenever you have to go to the bathroom, let us know, we'll help you to the bathroom. And I knew that if I used the bathroom, I could go home. I wanted to go home so bad. And during this time, I wasn't able to really eat. So for me to eat, I ate, like they would bring my lunch, breakfast, dinner, and I would barely eat any of it. But I would drink water all day. Water, and apple juice all day. And she's like, oh, are you ready to use the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, let me try. I used the bathroom. It was like a little bit of urine. I'm like, oh, I want to go home. It's like, oh, you can't go home until you fill it up. And I'm like, oh, I'm just ready to go home. It took a couple of more hours, and I had to walk. So she came and got me every couple of minutes or every couple of hours to come and take a little walk down the hall, and then I would come back and lay down for a little bit, drink, do it again, until finally I was able to use the bathroom. They're like, okay, well, you can go home now. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you, I want to go home. Now, with this whole stage, before I had my surgery, I moved into my new home like a month prior. So the whole plan was get everything situated with the house that was like urgent right now, and then come home. I'll be good. I will have time to relax and be fine. So we were able to move almost everything into the home, get all the things that we needed to do, had my surgery. So when I got home, my sisters were able to take care of me while I was on recovery stage, which was great because, I couldn't move from the bed. Like, once I live in a 2-story, if you haven't seen my home tour, it will be in my videos. So I'm not sure how to link it yet, but it's in my videos. But I live in a townhome. So once I came home from surgery, once I got upstairs, I was not coming back down at all. So for the first like 4 days, I stayed in my room the whole time. I would only get off my bed to go to the bathroom and then come back. I would walk around my room a little bit just to get a little walk in and then lay back down. But most of the time I was sleeping. I slept a lot during my first few days from the hospital. I don't know if it was mainly because of the medication or I was just drained. I don't know, but I stayed asleep a lot. And then slowly but surely I was able to move around more. The gas was gone because it took me like 3 or 4 days to have an actual bowel movement. And that's what, once I had that, I felt great. I didn't have any more pain. It was done. So when I first had the surgery, the pain was only the gas pain. Once I had the gas pain gone, I had a new pain, which my period came on like the end of that week. So I had blood and I was my menstrual was still about the same, but it wasn't as bad. So I was still having pain. So of course I'm like, why am I still having pain if he took everything out? I totally forgot that I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was pregnant with my daughter. So once I had my follow-up, I went back to the surgeon and I explained that to him, that I was still having pain. I could actually feel like a ball like just sitting on top of my uterus, and that's usually what happens when I'm, on my menstrual. It happens, it grows, and then by the time my menstrual is done, it usually goes back to being normal, and it's very, very painful. So that's where all this pain, all these years have been coming from. In my mind, I'm thinking they're fibroids because that's all that I can remember. I remembered I have fibroids, so the pain is coming from the fibroids, not knowing that the pain is coming from the endometriosis. So I've had surgery for the fibroids. They took out 12 fibroids. I'm good. No. So now I still have the endometriosis. So the pain, which was the main issue of why I wanted to do the surgery, is still here. So now I have to think, okay, if I don't understand, if they were already down there, he could have saw that. He could have took it out. Apparently he didn't. So now I was scheduled for MRI to double check and make sure that it was endometriosis. Did the MRI yesterday. So now I'm just waiting on the results from my doctor to see what's the next step. When I did my follow-up and he saw it, he said, well, you may have to have another surgery. I do not want another surgery because this whole surgery journey right now has been very, very rough for me, and I don't think I want to go through that again. So I have spoken to him as well as my OBGYN to see if there's anything natural that I can do or take to help with the endometriosis, because I don't want to have another surgery. And I just want to say to any mothers that had a C-section, I applaud you so much, because I had my daughter naturally, and of course it was very painful, but I don't remember going through as much pain after having my daughter as I did after having the surgery. And I know that it was very painful for mothers to have to go through that and have the scar afterwards. So I now have the scar without having the baby, but I'm very blessed that they were able to take that out. But now my next step is to deal with the endometriosis, which is still a continuous thing right now. But I have been doing a few research and finding natural ways to help with living with the endometriosis. I mean, I don't know if I can actually, cure it without having the surgery, but I have found ways to help the pain part. So that's my thing right now is, taking the supplements that I can, trying to live a more healthier life. I know I still eat very badly, but it's still a work in progress that I'm working on. So I don't know if anybody else have this issue. If you do, comment down below. Let me know how well you're going through with it. If you have any other type of treatments that you've been given by your doctor, or if you just found anything else that can help with that, please comment down below, because I'm trying to take it or do anything other than having the surgery. So I do have a friend that mentioned another doctor that they go to that is more of a natural doctor, other than she doesn't just prescribe regular prescriptions that give her more money. She's actually one that helps you try to be a natural more way. She try to give you different teas to take. So I made a schedule appointment to speak with her to see if that's a better option for me to get a more natural way of dealing with this, because I can tell, I've been going through it for many years so far. So I'm hoping that I can deal with it for a little more longer, but I'm hoping that it's just I could be done with it pretty soon. I'm not planning right now to have any more kids, because this is a lot. But like I said, if God blesses me with another child, I will, I'm good either way. I only have one child, so if God sees that I only have one child, I only have one child, which is fine with me. When I was younger, I didn't want more kids. I wanted at least 3 kids. But if it's God's will right now for me to just have this one child, she is more than enough of a child. If I had more kids, her personality is more than one child. So as of right now, she's enough for me. But of course, I would love to have more kids. So hopefully in the future, I can handle this a little better, and it'll give me a better opportunity to have more kids. So that is my story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, or learned something from it, or maybe we're on the same journey and you needed somebody to be on the same side with you to go through what you're going through. I'm here. So thanks again for watching. Please continue watching my videos on this journey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me showing my face more, because I don't show it a lot. But hopefully you guys have a good day. Bye.